Boy! Let Pearson go. Let Pearson go.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Ted.
You stupid mother.
We're seeing protests in the Tennessee Capitol, where the House just advanced a new congressional map that would carve up Tennessee's only Democratic and black majority district, which includes Memphis. The measure is now in the Senate. Tennessee is the latest state to jump into the redistricting battle following that sweeping Supreme Court decision that weakened the landmark Voting Rights Act. Now, some Democrats are warning this gerrymandering sprint challenges the very idea of democracy.
I try not to see this as a left-right issue. I think this strikes to the core of what Americans believe in, and I have faith that Americans believe ultimately in the idea of fair elections, fair representation, that this democracy should be a democracy that is loyal to those vaunted ideals. What the Republicans are doing is anti-democratic. And I'll never forget that.
MS Now's Nnamdi Egawonwu is in Nashville, where I know you've been speaking to people about the impact this would have. What are they telling you?
Yeah, you know, right now folks here are upset, making their voice heard. You see the large crowd of people gathered outside of the Senate chambers right now as lawmakers there begin discussion or continue debate over this legislation and prepare for a final vote any moment now. Like, I want to remind you, Chris, some of the conversations we're hearing inside that chamber room, one thing people have pointed out is with the new design of this map, you're going to have areas of Memphis, which I will remind you, a predominantly black city, the final place Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his...
Yeah, something just happened. I don't know if you've seen this Democrat melting down on social media. If you take a look at this, Tennessee's House just passed the 2026 redistricting map, and Democrats completely lost their minds after vote. 9 Republicans, 0 Democrat. The chamber erupted into chaos. Democrats are screaming, storming out, and some are literally being dragged out by officers. The South is rising and fighting back hard. The meltdown are priceless. Tennessee is leading the charge, and the rest of red Americans should be watching closely. At some point, when I look at this, I will say, these people can change. I've seen them do the same thing, right? Like what we recently saw in Virginia. I did not see this kind of reactions. I don't know if the belief doing this will stop anything or what exactly.
Do you feel it's a fair characterization or hyperbole when some Democratic politicians argue the U.S. is in a second Jim Crow era?
Well, I think we're potentially on the verge of that. If you take away the tools that erased Jim Crow, and chief among them being the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and you see what legislatures are racing to do in Louisiana, in Tennessee, in Alabama, you see the beginnings, the potential beginnings of, if not a Jim Crow era as we have known it, a modern Jim Crow era, where African Americans, Hispanics don't have the ability to fully express themselves when it comes to their political power. And that's really something that worries me. But again, I emphasize, if partisan gerrymandering is something that is going to be accepted by this Supreme Court, if that is the thing to say, well, it's not racial gerrymandering, it's only partisan gerrymandering, that affects white people in this country as well. It takes power away from all Americans and something that needs to be stopped.
President Martin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's remind ourselves that while we're here in this special session...
Mr. Trooper, please clear out that balcony over there. Please clear out the balcony. Leader Lamberth. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the remainder of my time.
Leader Lamberth yields the rest of his time. We're voting. We are voting on the bill. All those in favor of House Bill 7003 as amended, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Mr. Clerk, please take the vote.
something really bothers me when I look what is going on. I see a lot of Democrat lawmakers saying it is not a Republican versus Democrat thing. It is a Republican issue. If you look through Democrat, they have been doing this for a very long time. And a Republican decided to also do the same thing. It has become a big problem. They have done that to that level, they can't even do again. Reason you see them now melting down to a level we've not seen in a long time.
Senator Powers, you recognize.
All right, we're going back to the live now to the conversation. It seems like they've brought the speakers back up, but you can hear the protesters in the background. Let's listen in. It seems as though they...
Ayes 25, nays 5. House Bill 7003, having received the constitutional majority, I declare it passed.
This guy you can see here on this picture is going viral for just the wrong reasons. Tennessee Democrat State Representative Justin Partisan was caught on camera aggressively intimidating and screaming in the faces of state troopers during the redistricting vote. If you take a look at what he did here, I don't get it. This is how a radical leftist lawmaker treats the officer sworn to protect him. All because he's melting down over fair maps. Expel this clown immediately. This is what I see a lot of people putting on social media. They should expel him for what he did. If you watch this video closely, you realize you will see him at the beginning of this clip. What he was actually doing to me was not really right. These are people that are protecting them every single day. But because of something you disagree with, you have to do this. The law enforcement that are standing there to make sure that there is law and order. That is not okay, right? It's crazy.
All right, we all know the sad truth. Half of those rhinos up in D.C. use made-up holidays to get out of doing hard work for conservatives anytime the media or the Dems call them out. But meanwhile, back in my home state of Alabama last night, Republican senators literally voted through a tornado siren to redraw congressional maps to kick the Dems out of seats they've been clinging to through gerrymandering for years. This right here, this is what backbone and leadership look like. This is what happens when Republicans stop playing defense and for once actually plays offense. If the rest of the rhinos across the country could do this, maybe we wouldn't have to retire them all. The left never apologizes for using their power. They never ask permission before they go on MSNBC and
call us back in.
Meaning how angry everybody is.
It's illegal to live on the sidewalk.
Right.
That's a Democrat law. All the laws I want to enforce are Democrat laws. I am the Democrat law enforcer, Mayor. I should be every day. I'm actually excited.
Spencer Pratt, who's running for mayor of Los Angeles,
who's doing a great job.
Those ads are
unbelievable.
Fire.
As of the short clips you see at the end, that is for the white algorithm. They hardly recommend videos on this channel, so we usually put maybe they can. And please heap up the videos. God bless you abundantly.
Unable to laugh at him.
Inside, they started.
It'll be
more access to the leader of the free world.
This week, which was the state of Virginia, they gerrymandered the state. And I have to sound like a 5-year-old, but Trump started it.
The win in yesterday's redistricting.
It's going to lose their congressional representation. How do you think?
Until the First Lady brought them back with her surprise statement last week.
How does this benefit?
I'm an actor.
I'm an actor.
Creative content.
Why are you not looking forward to the White House fight?
Well, it's kind of a gimmick.
I have 300.
Well, I said Democratic Socialist.
I know, but
So I have to say, you get caught in a moment, and everybody's got a camera.
It gets to January.
Stand up and fight for.
I'm not sure how to respond to that.